you can't become discouraged. But I want to emphasize the importance that making a game is a team project. You have to be open for outside opinions, because ultimately, usually, you're making a game for other people and not just for yourselves. Although making games for yourselves is fine. But if you want to make a game that you're marketing, you have to take into account what other people want as well, what your market group is and how they play the game. A group of young women may play games, or will play games completely differently from a group of young men, or older men, or older women, etc., etc. So figure out who your game is for, and then sort of figure out if you can tap into ideas, if you know anyone from that group that can sort of help you, that you can bounce ideas off. And again, comes into it's very important and very beneficial to work as a team on what you're doing. That being said, I think I can stop now. No, but next up is Jói. He will be talking a bit about how to make game mods on existing games. Thank you all for attending. If you have any questions, I think we should. Do we want to do them now, or do we want to do them after?
We do them now.
Okay, if you have any questions, we can do them now. Ask or I will interrogate you. None. Excellent. I must have been very clear on everything I said. Probably not. Okay, that being said, I'll be here around until the end of the lecture, so if you have any questions after the entire thing, just, stop me and talk to me. I don't talk this fast in person. Thank you, Jói.
My name is Jóhannes, or known as Jói, and I am. I have been a modder for about a decade or so now. What that means, modding, is it's a modification for a game that has already been released. So, like, an example would be, a perfect example would be Half-Life engine. Half-Life 2 was released, and there are now about 3,000 mods for it, just for that game alone. And that's just when people take that game, Half-Life 2, and conform it into, let's say, a paintball mode, where you actually, instead of real guns, you have like paintball guns. Or I've seen a real-time strategy mod for a first-person shooter game. That's like really unique. So you have this ability to take the engine that already exists and turn it into a completely new game that you have in your mind, you want to design. There are many different games out there. Many of them do not support mods. There aren't any tools for it, or there's no support really for it. And other games really support and encourage modding, like, for example, Half-Life engine or Unreal Tournament engine and so on. And you kind of choose what engine you really want. If you go into modding, that is, you can choose what is the best engine I want for my game. If I'm not going to make a first-person shooter on Flight Simulator, for example. It just doesn't work. So, like, if I'm doing a real-time strategy game, I have to find a game that's like real-time strategy, not first-person shooter, although it is possible on some engines. And there is a link on the IGI website to moddb.com. There's a link to a site called Mod Database, and it has all the majority of mods created all over the world on every game, and it shows also very good the best engines. At the moment, there are 3 top engines that are used for modding. It is Half-Life, and It's the source engine, Half-Life uses source engine, and the Unreal Tournament engine. And the third engine totally escaped my mind right now. But you can look it up, and if you really want to go into that direction, do a mod, you can just look at the IGI website, and there is a link. The website is moddb.com, and you have tutorials and you have everything you really need to actually start there. I'm not really sure if I'm going to talk anything more about modding, but I really didn't plan this really. If there are any questions, please just shoot them out right now. Yeah, please.
What's the difference between modding, like something with Half-Life, or using something like the Unity engine?
There is basic difference between mods or game engines as in game limitation, engine limitation, because some engines just do not allow some things to be done, but Unity is really good as it's like built on to make different kinds of games. But for example, I personally am working on the Battlefield 2 engine, and every now and then we hit like a brick wall of like, oh, it's an engine limitation. We can't change that. It's hard coded. We can't change that. So if you go for like really crazy idea, it's good to find an engine that like supports like crazy ideas and isn't limited to just like this is a game we created and you can't really do anything else on it kind of thinking when the developers do their engine.
I think.
Yeah, please.
Very good point with Unity.
Yeah.
Go and check out. It's like a middleware thing where you can quickly get up and running and make games. We're working on getting someone from Unity to do a lecture in December. It's nothing confirmed yet, and you can get a free license as a developer.
Exactly, and also to add to that, recently, just today, I saw that Unreal 3 engine is also free now, called UDK, or Unreal Development Kit, that you now have a free license for indie games and such. So that can also be looked at, and Unreal Tournament engine is really capable of doing amazing stuff. Any other questions? So you had a question, yes.
What's your favorite modding engine?
Modding.
Do you prefer for
Excuse me?
what's this your preferred modding tools like SDK or
Well, that's really a good question. I've actually touched on very many of them. I really liked the Sage engine, which is a real-time strategy game, but through recent developments, that's the engine that's used for games like Red Alert and Command & Conquer series. And it has pretty good. It had pretty good, development kit, but it's gone back a bit with the new games.
optimize the most range you can go from first-person shooter?
Yeah, the most. I think the Source engine and the Unreal engine are like really out there with it has crazy ideas. One mod I've seen actually combines real-time strategy with first-person shooter. So one in multiplayer. So one player is playing real-time strategy while others are playing first-person shooters. That's like really unique. And
Savage?
no, that's Iron Grip mod for Source engine. I really didn't plan this really that far. Any other question? Yeah.
Think about the copyright on the things that you use in the game, the content. For example, famous scary mod, of course, you use literally from the other